Hello, I'm Linda, and this is dating episode 3, which was a nice day out, but really too far to drive. After spending most of my life with a mate, I'm not surprised that I miss having one. Why do I miss it? What is it about being alone that is so scary and may influence us into connecting with someone who may not suit us just to avoid it? At my age as a senior, I have been fortunate to have had a few long-term relationships. However, I must face the possibility that I may never find a proper mate again. I still plan to try, but I am working to let go of the need for it. Regardless of the direction I am heading now, I still find my dating experiences amusing. The guy I dated before AJ I shall call BR. I try hard not to hold a man's appearance against him. If he is tall enough and not terribly overweight, I'll give him a shot. This guy was acceptable for his age in the features department, and we seemed to have quite a bit in common. So I drove 2.5 hours to visit him in a small town, as he did not have a car. I looked at it hopefully as a nice day out. This guy seemed very interested in me and had lots of compliments for me while we were messaging on the dating site. He did give me a compliment on my appearance upon a meeting. How unfortunately, I could not do the same for him, but I felt I could get used to his appearance. Being with someone I can talk to is more important to me. We went around to the antique shops in his tiny town, which I enjoyed. As I like Star Trek and lots of other science fiction stuff, he showed me some genuine costumes from some of the Star Trek series that were in a large display case. We then went to a local fishing park with a cafe and got coffee. We talked for a long time while sitting on a table near the fishing ponds. He talked a lot about a hotel he owned in Indonesia and how he had spent many years in the area and how he missed a bird in particular. If the guy seems to like to talk a lot, I just let him. I like to see if he actually asks me any questions about me, which was noticeably lacking. But I thought it was going well anyway. We talked about movies and books and computer stuff. Apparently he was deep into computer programming, so I had hopes he may be able to help me with some of my computer issues. It seemed we might have a chance of getting along okay. Though I wasn't attracted to him physically, I would put my arm in his to try to indicate that I was interested in developing more. We had a quick kiss when I dropped him off at his residence, as I was not invited in. He said it was because he had had a headache that had been going on for hours, though he had not mentioned it earlier. There was talk about seeing each other again. I don't get excited about that because it rarely happens. It was an interesting day out in any case, and I had found a special type of Art Deco bowl I had been looking for. The next day he was at least courteous enough to send me a message that he felt he was not ready to date, though his profile was still active on the dating site. It really was a long way to go for a date, a longer drive than I had expected. I just hate to lose out on a serious potential for a mate just because the guy doesn't have a car. I found it amusing that several months later, after both of us had moved, it turned out we were much closer to each other. He called me out of the blue and said he had been thinking about me and asked if I would like to meet up with him. He told me about some equipment he was getting to start up a new business and asked if I might be interested in helping him with it. I have enough of my own stuff going on such that I declined. He still didn't have a car, though he said he was planning to get one in a few months. So he arranged for me to meet him at his place in a couple days. The day before we were to meet up, he called me and said something had come up and he couldn't meet with me. I don't know what made him change his mind, but I didn't hear from him again. And I honestly didn't care, though his knowledge of computers might have been useful to me. I have found that too many of the men no longer drive at this age, though they seem perfectly content to ride the bus or train somewhere. I hate riding the bus, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon. Many of them have lost their licenses due to drink driving. If they are able to ride a bike, then often they are very proud of that. It doesn't impress me. Independence is a key issue for me. As an American, I grew up totally dependent on a car because everything in the States is so spread out, and there are not that many convenience stores there. It is more about the mega stores located in giant shopping complexes. In the UK, there are lots of small shops close by everywhere, so I am not surprised that people just nip around to one when they need something. I love my freedom, so I can't live like that. Though I may accept being with a man who no longer drives, I'm not happy about the prospect. I like to be able to just get in the car and drive to a distant park or town. Another thing I've found in the UK is that too many men have not been around their own country much. Though several are proud that they have been to many places around the world, especially if they were in the military for a long time. They tend not to stray far from their native home upon returning there, often to be near their relatives who also have not been far from home, or else they go abroad on holiday. I find it rather disappointing. I'm sorry to compare my Stephen to these guys, as it often can't be helped, but at least he had a desire to get away and see the sights near and far to where we lived. We moved around a lot for his jobs, and he was always coming up with new places to show me and explore. I really miss that. I know I could go see new places by myself. So far I've been reluctant to do so, as I prefer to have someone with me to share the experience. That is an attitude to which I'm considering changing. I think the biggest problem with internet dating is that we seem to be spoiled for choice. I get the impression that people think because the dating pool is so large, all we have to do is wait for exactly the right person to come along. Somehow the universe will direct that perfect person, that soulmate, to us and make everything right. Therefore, we shouldn't have to work that hard. We just need to show we are available. I would rather be alone than in a bad relationship. The dating pool grows larger every day as more people take that attitude. Unfortunately, that perfect person doesn't really exist. There will be compromises no matter how nice the other person seems to be, and it takes effort to reach those compromises. Because of the effort it takes to have a working relationship, along with the hope of finding that alleged soulmate who completely understands you and will never hassle you, more and more people put less and less effort into developing a working relationship, especially at this age. I get that we are tired by now. However, if I really want a working relationship, I get a cup of coffee and put some serious effort into meeting and getting to know someone. That doesn't mean it will work, but at least I can go to my grave knowing I really did give it my best shot. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.